let's just say if I put it on YouTube, I have to watch what I say regarding banking as well as governments, because YouTube is a bit sensitive, and with all the turmoil that's happening throughout the world right now, we are really. Let's just say if I put it on YouTube, I have to watch what I say regarding. There you go. We are live. Click share, copy, and message, paste, and click enter. There you go. All done and dusted. There's your link, guys. For those of you, hello YouTube, welcome to it. So guys, let's get started. My name is Shady. As I said, I'm from South Africa. I've been in this crypto space for the last 14 years. What I've done in the space, except, lose money as well. Why? I'm going to explain to you. But I was the first person in Africa to buy my dream car, 5-liter V8 Mustang on the blockchain with Bitcoin. So if you don't know what that means, for those of you who are brand new, that means I didn't use money. Now, can you go to a dealership that sells only Ferraris and tell them, I like to buy this car, but I'm not using vehicle asset finance, I'm not using a bond, I'm not using cash. I want to buy this not using money. I bought that car with Bitcoin. And the reason I did that was because I was mentored by Robert Kiyosaki and Richard Branson, right? And at that time, they were talking about this thing called blockchain and Bitcoin. And so I always follow smart money, irrespective of what my bank was telling me, irrespective of what my government was telling me, or social media, or your friends who don't know nothing about blockchain, how they've been putting you off, including your financial advisor, might I add. So I always used to follow them, and yes, we made a lot of money with Bitcoin. Everything about me is Bitcoin. But tonight we're not talking about Bitcoin. Tonight we're talking about something much more serious. Bitcoin paved the way for what I'm about to speak to you. Now, before I get started, I must warn you, I'm going to make some of you upset. I'm going to piss some of you off. I may say things as coming as arrogant, but please understand, it's not my opinion. I'm going to share factual information. Nothing on this call is scripted. What do I mean by that? That I got some new information to share with you. So not all my calls have the same format, if I could say. So what's the format? What's the agenda for this call? Very, very simple. This is how we do it. First, I want to show you the crypto that we're talking about. I'm going to show you what it's worth. Then I want to show you who wants it and who's been buying this and who's been partnering with under your noses that you have no idea. I want to educate you on what's happening behind the scenes, from the banking space to governments. That's right, governments. Okay? Sorry, YouTube, please don't ban me. And then I want to show you how do we accumulate this asset. So many of you work hard 9 to 5, you have jobs, you have businesses that you're accumulating something called the rand, or whichever country you're coming in from. I have no idea. Well, I kind of, Namibia, etc. But I don't know what currency you deal with there. But how can you save something that's losing value every day? Why? Because government prints money. It's called quantitative easing. When they print money, money comes into circulation, your value drops, inflation. Okay. Today we're talking about something different, totally. We're going to teach you how to accumulate an asset that's going up in value. Are you guys ready for this? Let's go. I'm sharing my screen right now. And if you guys can see my screen, give me some flames, or give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can see my screen. And I'm just going to close this YouTube video here and go to the coin market cap. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the coin market cap. For those of you who don't know, this is basically a website that you could go to that has all the cryptos in the world. All. Right now, this market cap is up almost 3%. That's 2.52 trillion. For those of you who are not in the crypto space, please don't believe people when they tell you this is a small place. So right now, on this year, you may ask, how many cryptos do we have? As of today, 48 million different cryptocurrencies. Don't feel left out. There's 48 million. But on the call today, oh my word, are you guys seeing this? Although there's a war in the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 10%, Ethereum 12%. I mean, XRP is up 5% during a war. What is your rand doing for you right now? How about 17 rand a liter of fuel in May? You see what I'm saying? So let's look at XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, today's call, we're talking about XRP. It's the 5th largest crypto in the world, okay? And it's only $1.36. Oh, $1.37. So It was created in 2012 and it's up 23,000%. Yesterday it was 22,000%. You guys saw that, right? So the market cap for it at the moment is 84 billion. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I need to make the screen bigger because some of us can hear me but cannot see me. But I need to make this bigger so it gets your attention. In the last 24 hours, XRP is up 58.54%. I want you to remember this number. 58.54%, 3.6 billion came into XRP, 58.4%. And how much is one XRP in South African rands today? Let's do a quick calculation for you guys. XRP versus ZAR, one ZAR, 22.41. Okay? Understand? 22.41 for one XRP. So I showed you XRP 22.41. I showed you how many percent is up, and I showed you it's way up. Best part. Why? Because I could talk, there's 48 million cryptos. Why specific XRP? And this is where I'm going to ruffle some feathers. This is where I'm going to, let's just say, make you feel uncomfortable a little bit. Okay? Today we're talking about XRP. Now, I want to explain to you how I got this. Okay? Because this is not something that we just found somewhere and we try to market to you. You need to understand that. Before I even go to crypto, you guys need to understand that you, right now on this call, are living in the world of a Web 2 space. Web 2. When we talk crypto, we're moving on to Web 3. But before you understand what you have, you got to understand what is Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, because you understand that we're making a transition right now. So what is Web 1? Web 1 was when the internet was first created. When the internet was first created, you could not reply, you could only read. It was read only. Understood? Web 1, read only. Web 2, read and write. That means you could read, you could respond. Emails, Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp, TikTok, Yahoo, you name it. However, those Web 2 companies are very few. Meta, Google, what's the other one? Amazon, all of these companies, there's very, very few. Banking fall under Web 2. Why? They are owned by corporations and they own you. They own your digital data. What do I mean by that? So Web 2, you can read and write only. That means when you go on Facebook, oh, nice dress, like nice shoe, like nice car, like nice exhaust, like nice holiday, like you clicking like and saying, oh my God, so beautiful. Guess what? You are leaving digital footprints, crumbs. They are digital crumbs. So these social media houses, they collect all of that and they create an avatar of you. So they know who you are. We got Byron Van Rensburg on the call. Whenever you're on social media, you're clicking like, they know what Byron likes. So what happens? They start pumping him with advertising because they already know where he likes to go for holiday. You already know what kind of cars he like, what kind of shoes he like. You understand? But you don't get paid for that information. So we are in the evolution, we're moving to Web 3 right now. So what is Web 3? Web 3 is read, write, and own. So that means you own your data, not these big guys. And you can monetize that. Every move you make on Web 3, you get paid. You understand? So you guys are moving to Web 3. Banks are in Web 2. Today, we're going to introduce you to a bank on Web 3. So the only way Web 3 can coexist is if it is run by crypto. So prior to 2024, America, IMF, SEC all tried to shut down cryptocurrency. They all tried to shut down Bitcoin. You know, any country that goes against the US dollar, out. So they tried, but because blockchain is decentralized, you are good to go. You understand? So Web 1, read. Web 2, read, write. Web 3, read, write, and own. So today's call, we're going to teach you how to own your own digital footprint. So having said that, I showed you what is XRP. What is happening now with XRP? ABSA Bank, can you see? CIB, Corporate Investment Banking, CIB ABSA. This happened in 15th of October, 2025. After 2024, everything is changing. Johannesburg, South Africa, ABSA Bank partners with Ripple. Okay, excited? When I saw this, I almost got a heart attack because banks never tell you, did they tell you, hey, go buy some XRP. XRP is Ripple's token. No, they don't tell you that. There's a list of institutions that are dealing with XRP at the moment. Japan, UAE, USA, American Express. Imagine American Express, you guys have this card, partnered with Ripple. Standard Chartered, Australia, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, Russia, Standard Bank, South Africa. How does it make you feel that all of these banks, including a big blue bank in South Africa, are partnering with it? So let's look at the regionals. Okay, this is regional adoption. UAE, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Mexico, Europe, India, Japan, Australia, South Korea, all Ripple. And Africa, we're talking about South Africa and Nigeria. Looks like we need to update this to Namibia. Let's look at future adoption. Middle East, Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia. I'm going to go through this in detail. Now, let's scale you a little more. Let's look at all the banks that partnered with Ripple and ready to use XRP. Bank of Indonesia, Thailand, MoneyGram. Guys, this is Japan. Instant Red. Okay, I'm Western Union, UAE Exchange. Guys, look at all of these banks. I don't know half of them. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to read all of this out. But I want you to understand, and I want you, Bank of England, I want it to sink in that there's a movement happening from Web 2 to Web 3. You need to understand that. That's my mission today, is to make you understand that banks are moving from Web 2 to Web 3. Okay? And they're using XRP to do it. Standard Chartered Bank. This is from the UK. Barclays, London. National Bank of Abu Dhabi. JP Morgan. Remember, guys, you remember, I don't know if you remember this. Remember JP Morgan said, oh, don't go anywhere near Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a scam. And then the Bitcoin price fell. And then JP Morgan were creating their own blockchain and they were buying Bitcoin. Then the price goes up. JP Morgan comes out. Warren Buffett came out. Oh, don't buy Bitcoin. It's rat poison. All the weekends sold. They came and bought again. Why? They frighten you guys. Fear is what drives this market. Singapore Exchange, you guys get the picture. Let's dig deeper. South Africa, as of February 2026, 25th, our finance minister announced a major shift into regulation of crypto assets, announcing that they will be formally included in the capital flow of South Africa. The National Treasury plans to publish a draft for Cryptocurrency Act to bring crypto assets. You're a South African right now. How does that make you feel? One thing I've proved to you, XRP is affordable. Our government want to relieve poverty. Did they tell you? Go buy? No. Did the bank ABSA tell you? Did anybody get a call from American Express? How do you feel right now? Did your financial advisor tell you that this is happening? No offense to all the financial advisors in the house. I'm sorry. Why aren't you advising? Because they only designated to do one thing. Anything that's Web 2. Okay? You got your, what's this? Sanlam. You got your, okay, I don't want to mention any names. I don't want to get sued. But you guys understand. Now, my question to you, Bitcoin, XRP is only 22 Rand. How many do you want? Type in the chat. How many do you want? Because I'm about to show you the price is going to pump. And you guys need to position yourself. Type it in the chat. How many XRP do you want? I'm watching the chat. I want this to be two ways, guys. I need this to be two-way. Why? Because when you type something that you're putting energy into, you're sending out a different frequency to the universe. I just showed you that all the banks in the world, all the countries in the world wants XRP, and you got a chance to get it now for 22 Rand. How many do you want? Next thing you need to ask yourself, Shane, if all these guys are coming on board, what's the price of XRP gonna be? Because I told a lot of people Bitcoin will reach 1 million Rand, but nobody believed me. But during COVID, I made 9,000 families millionaires. Now it's XRP time, baby. Who's going to listen to me now? Let's go. Vanilla says 5 XRP, 20 XRP. Okay, good. Let's show you one more thing. Let's show you one more thing. Ripple to secure Australian financial services license. Already done. March 2026. Japan, Ripple utility for 44 million users in Japan. I know Zaf comes and talks about this. Japan's largest e-commerce. What happens when Asia touches the cryptocurrency? Which date this is, guys? I need you to follow dates here. April 15th, 2026. What's the date today? I don't even know the date today, guys. What's the date today? Guys, check this out. It's coming in tomorrow. Oh, flip. Largest e-commerce is bringing Ripple into its payment stack on. Sorry, Zaf, are you on the call, bro? Do you know that this is happening tomorrow? Is Zaf still not here? I thought I saw Zaf in this room because Zaf loves everything dealing with Japanese. Okay, guys, you're seeing this happen right in front of your eyes, right? This is breaking news. This is 1 hour ago, okay? So 44 million users, mass adoption of. So I'm not sure by tomorrow what the price of XRP. So for those of you who took action on this call, good luck. Let's look at the rest of you. Oh, I got goosebumps after reading this article. So guys, let's show you how do we accumulate this thing called XRP. How do we do it? This is the reason why you're on the call. I want you to pay attention. What we've covered so far, let's compartmentalize. Price of XRP, who's buying it, who's partnering with it, and who's making it part of the banking system. Am I right in what I said? That's what I showed you so far. Now the question is, Shane, why the hell am I on this call? What's the reason for me being on this call? This is the reason. We are about to teach you something which the banks are using right now, but we are using it in the Web3 space. Welcome to XAB, XRP AI bot. That's what it means. Okay, so how does it work? Very, very simple. Now, there's a disclaimer. We offer you arbitrary trading. That means we don't give you fixed returns, and I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I will give you history, a trade history of what we are doing. So as I covered this with you, top 3 cryptocurrencies, we looked at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what? An asset token. Let's go back. Bitcoin, asset token. People buy and hold long term. Can you see that? 74,000. People buy and hold long term. Ethereum, technology token. You create dApps, decentralized finance, meme coins, NFTs, all that is done on Ethereum. It's a layer 2 blockchain. Bitcoin is a layer 1 blockchain. XRP is a banking token. Now, hear what I'm saying. Before I could explain all the banks partnering with XRP, and if I said it's a banking token, it would have went to this side of your ear, it would have came out to the other side. Am I right? Now when I say banking token, you understand. But let's look more into XRP. Okay, let's dig into XRP. What it is, when it was created, 2012, used by banks and created to replace the SWIFT banking system. This is Brad Garlinghouse. He's the CEO of XRP. Okay, he is one of the advisory. He sits on the advisory board for the Clarity Bill. For those of you who don't know what is the Clarity Bill, I suggest you learn very quickly. But let's give you an idea. Okay, let me just type in Clarity Bill. So the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, introduced by blah, blah, blah. Let's look at the status. Passed the House in July 2020, navigated the Senate. Okay, so right now it's in the Senate in the US for banking committee. Okay, so once this is passed, basically it is going to make, let's put what is. So it's shortened act for, it's introduced to federal regulatory framework for digital assets. Can you see? It aims to classify digital assets as commodities or securities. Do you know what that means? What is a commodity? Gold is a commodity. Silver is a commodity. Oil is a commodity. And for the first time in history, you guys are sitting in front of the information where a crypto is going to be acknowledged as a commodity. That means nobody out there can tell you, oh, Bitcoin is a scam, crypto is a scam. No, it's being regulated as a commodity. That means the whole world can adopt it. Banks are going to start using it. Financial houses are going to use it. It's not going to be when I got started where everybody was against it. You guys are sitting and watching history in the making with Japan and now with this clarity bill. So part of the clarity bill, the advisory committee is read. Now, can you see it says here, it's used by banks, which I proved to you. Then it says it's created to replace the SWIFT banking system. Can you see that? So the next question is, Shane, what is the SWIFT banking system? Because many of you on this call probably don't know. So on the chat, do you know what is the SWIFT banking system? If you do, type in, well, if you are a member on this call, you obviously know because you heard this before. But if you're brand new on this call and you don't know, or if you know, type in Y for yes and N for no. I want to have a look at who I'm talking to. If you know what is the SWIFT banking system, type in yes. If you don't know, type in no. I want this to be interactive, guys, because, see, Shad says no. Bodile says no. Keep it going, guys. I need to see who knows what it is and who doesn't know. If you don't know, no problem. Lindsay says she knows. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Let me explain to you what is a SWIFT banking system, so we're all on the same page. Okay, so the SWIFT banking system is basically a giant, I would use the term, messaging service for all the banks around the world, if that makes sense. Okay, so just like how you've got the okay, let me just I'm trying to phrase it easier way for you guys to understand. Let's look at you sending money overseas. Your bank needs to communicate with the Chinese bank. So all of them share the same messaging service, a payment platform called the SWIFT banking system. It was created in 1973. And more importantly, it was actually built for the 200 countries that are part of it and 11,500 financial systems as well as banks. So these 11,500 banks communicate each other with the SWIFT banking system. So when you're sending money across, you put in the SWIFT code. You guys understand that? Good. Now that worked well. That worked well when you had, money, physical money. But now the world is moving towards digital. Banks needs to know why must I send an email and it reaches China so quick, but money takes so long to go across 2 to 3 business days. You understand? So the banks need to innovate. They need to move from Web 2 to Web 3. That's where we are in. So they are choosing to use XRP. Okay, that's why they're moving across. But there's a more important reason why you are on this call, because there's something happening in the world right now. You guys are watching the news, what's coming out of Iran, etc. The problem is that America has weaponized the SWIFT banking system. So what they did with Russia is they actually disabled the SWIFT payment system, so people in Russia cannot transact with the rest of the world. So whatever monies Russia had in US, $300 billion is frozen in the US. So all of these countries go back. Now, I hope you was following me, right? I hope you was following what I was saying. If I go back to this list and I look at future adoption, Middle East, you guys are seeing what's happening in the Middle East. They don't want to deal with America anymore. They don't want to deal with the SWIFT system anymore. So what they're doing, they're moving. Latin America, you guys saw what happened with Venezuela. They need to change their SWIFT system. You guys know what happened to Libya, okay? And what's happening with BRICS. They need to change their banking system. What's happening in Africa? with Libya. You saw that. Then we look at Southeast Asia, countries like Vietnam. All of these countries here are future adoption to XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in your life, you are watching something where banks are moving from the Web 2, which they use Swift, into a Web 3, which they use XRP. And this is not me saying you this. This is all over the world right now. And this article was launched in 2025. The question is, how do you position yourself for this movement? How do you position yourself knowing that Japan, UAE, USA, American Express, as I said, you guys have American Express card, but you had no idea that they partnered with Ripple. Standard Chartered, how does it make you feel right now that all of these banks are moving across and you don't own one XRP, which is only 22 Rand today? Scary stuff. So as countries move across, we are positioning ourselves. How do we do it? You see, Swift is old. When you're sending money across, Swift code, no more. Slow. How many days? 2 to 3 business days. Expensive to send money across and confusing. XRP, blockchain technology, 1,500 transactions per second, virtually free, and it's transparent. You need to understand whatever crypto project you did prior to 2024, governments shut it down. You lost money, I understand. What's happening after 2024? Governments are adopting. You guys who didn't lose money in crypto at the right place at the right time, ask me. I lost a lot. I call it school fees. So let's talk about this. If XRP just takes over 25% of the Swift network, those 11,500 banks that use Swift, if XRP takes over just 25%, that pushes one XRP to the price of $10,000 for one. So for those of you in the chat who said, I want 5 or 10, good luck to you. That's no problem. But we are not here to make 5 or 10 XRP. This is our goal for everybody on this call. I want you all to have 100,000 XRP ending 2026, beginning of 2027. If XRP just goes to $10, leave $10,000. Because some of you, your mindset will be like, oh, Shane, that's going to take 5 years. Well, let's say it takes 2 years. Will you be unhappy with that? But for argument's sake, let's just say it goes to just to $10. Today is $1.37. If I help you get 100,000 XRP, that means you will make $1 million US end of 2026. Put in the chat, who wants 100,000 XRP by end of 2026? Type in me. The universe is moving, guys. Now is our time. There's a flow that's happening in the banking system. If we capture as much XRP as you can before the price pumps tomorrow, you saw what Japan is doing. Guys, look at this. I'm shocked when I read this article. Japan's largest e-commerce platform is bringing XRP into its payment system on April 15, 2026 with 44 million users. All of them buying XRP. It's our time. So let's move on. This is how you accumulate. Welcome to our XAB. This is why the person invited you here on this call. This is where the magic happens. We're going to show you a tool that corporates use, that huge institutional investors use, that banks use. This is called a XAB bot. XAB, XRP AI bot. How does it work? We do arbitrage trading. It's a win-win model. It scans multiple exchanges in real time, detects the price variation. It's rapid automated. Now, let me explain to you. Let me stop the Zoom, this PowerPoint, because I need you to listen to me. What you know about trading, this is nothing like what you know. Arbitrage trading is completely different. The trading that you probably familiar with, where you put a buy, you wait for the price to go up, you take your profit, or it hits your stop loss and you lose your money. Arbitrage trading is for institutional investors. So what they do is, you see, I just told you that there's 48 million different cryptos, and we've got over 200 exchanges, but this company only deals with 4 exchanges. We look at Binance, we look at Coinbase, we look at Kraken, and we look at Bitstamp. So whole 4 exchanges sells XRP, right? Good. But did you know that at any one time that all those exchanges, XRP is not the same price? That's 0.01 cents difference or whatever it is per exchange. So what this bot does, it scans exchange, buys from the lower exchange, and sells to the higher. So it's not trading for you, it's just buying and selling and gives you the profit. Now, once we're done in the video, I'll show you that in real time, how that works, but that's the basis of arbitrage trading, okay? And it's all hands-free. This is the owner of the company, co-founder, as well as the CEO. He is the guy who programmed this bot. He's an aeronautical engineer, and he basically programs drones as well. He got into mining in 2013. Absolutely brilliant guy. You guys on this call get to be with him on a call every Sunday at 9 p.m. And guess what? I'm bringing him to South Africa, July. So you're going to get to meet these guys in real time. So let's show you how this works. So how does your bot work? It gives you up to 1% a day. It trades for 6 days. Okay, so 6 days a week it trades from Wednesday to Monday. Today is Tuesday. Every Tuesday you activate your bot. Very, very simple. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so let's go here. Every Tuesday you activate your bot. I will show you how to do it. I'm going to do mine live now in front of you all. So you just click on the bot, you click submit and yes, and your bot starts waving his arms. See, this bot looks like he's going for a funeral, right? And this bot looks like he's going for a party. Once it's switched on, it moves on like this. So how does it work? How much does it cost you? For those of you on the call for the very first time, this is so affordable right now. Why? Because XRP price is low. It costs you a minimum of 10 XRP and 1 XRP is the fee. So we're looking at plus minus 300 to 350 Rand as of now. Tomorrow, we don't know what the price of XRP is going to be. Okay. So that's why I said disclaimer in the beginning, whatever I give you information I give you is of today. So we look at around 350 bucks, 300 bucks, right? It all depends on which exchange you're using. So let me talk to you about this. I need to stop my screen share because I need you to listen to me. So once you take your bot, it is a smart contract on the blockchain. Remember Web3, right? So it's on the blockchain. So this is a smart contract. So if you take anything from 10 XRP to 99 XRP, it gives you a 300% return. So that's why it trades for you 6 days a week and it pays you till it reaches 300%. Once it reaches 300%, your smart contract ends. Okay? If you take 100 XRP and above, you get 400%. That means you earn 400 XRP. Now, you can take your profits and take more bots if you like. Okay? Easy to understand. So minimum is 11 XRP. You can take how many XRPs you want. But if you take anything, 99 XRP and less, you make 300%. 100 XRP and more, you make 400%. All understood? Good. So this is what you do. You get in touch with the person who invited you to the call. You tell them, hey, I need the link for this here because I need to accumulate XRP. No problem, because I already explained to you why. So this would trade for you. Now, this is the passive side. Now, this part of the call, I'm talking to a different breed of people. I'm talking to people who's on this call who's looking at this and saying, Shane, because we're in the Web3 place, it's something you cannot position myself as a business and as a bank. So that now I'm talking to you. If you're just taking the bot and want to trade, you're a customer. You understand? Like how you take a savings account in the bank, they give you 5% for the year and give you your MasterCard, right? You are a customer. Now I'm talking to people who's looking at it as banking space. So Web3, you remember I told you you own your own data? This is how it works. If you tell me, hey, Shane, I want my family to know this education because they don't know what's happening with XRP. They don't know that Absa Bank is already there. They don't know NetBank is already there. They don't know that Standard Bank is already there. And because the banks are not advising us to buy, I want this information, this education for them. You invite them on this call Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I do the work for you. Okay. So how does it work? Let's just say I showed my wife. My wife said, okay, Shane, I want the bot. No problem. She starts off with 10 XRP. You, as a person who sent your link to her, you get 8% commission. Whether she took 10 XRP, 100 XRP, 200 XRP, you get 8%. Now, because this is the blockchain, there cannot be a rug pull. The owner cannot take the company and run away. It's on the blockchain. He cannot go in and delete anything. It's immutable, right? If they could do all of that on the blockchain, the Americans would have shut down the Bitcoin blockchain a long time ago. So there's another training I'll do on blockchain alone. So your money is safe. It's on a smart contract. So every time my wife takes a bot, I make 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%. Let's assume she speaks to her sister. You say, sister, you know what? You need to get this bot. Sister says, okay, I only got 350 Rand. No problem. The sister takes a bot, Atisha makes 8%. Every time she takes a bot, Atisha makes 8%, 8%, 8%. But now I don't know that she spoke to her sister. She's level 2, right? My wife is level 1. I make 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. Unlimited levels, guys. So I want you to pay attention. This is 4 streams of income that we do training on. My job on this call is not to educate you on the trading. My job in this call is just to cast vision of the money that you can make. So instant payouts are done on a smart contract directly to your Web3 wallet. However, ladies and gentlemen, I like to be like the bearer of good news. You know, you watch those Very Mark adverts, and they say, coming soon. Check this out. Let me share my screen with you. Stop share, go back. How would you like to have a MasterCard that you could tap at any place that has a MasterCard sign? All your XRP, the $1 million worth of XRP, how many spend in Shade? Go buy a flipping car. 160 million, go buy a house. This card here has no credit limit, no KYC. Now, for those are business-minded out there, how many people in South Africa and in Africa that are not banked right now? Think about that market share. I want you to think like a businessman, not like an employee. How many people are unbanked because they don't have residential addresses? They don't have IDs. For 350 bucks, they're getting up to 20% a month instead of 5% with the bank. Web3, baby. Remember, this is a Web3 card. Use at any ATM, tap and go, virtual card on your mobile phone. By the way, I just came across an interesting article that banks are doing away with cards. Think about it, we're moving now. Banks are doing away with cards because you're going to have virtual cards on your phone right now. So you'll have a virtual card and you'll have a physical card. Who likes the idea of that? There's a chat at the bottom of the screen. Give me a thumbs up, give me a confetti, or give me some flames. Because right now we're talking about you being in charge of your own digital footprint. So let's go back here. Let's talk about the 4 streams of income that this is for the business guys. Remember, if you see yourself as a customer, take your bot, register, get your XRP, and get trading. Now, I want the business guys to listen to what I'm saying. I'm looking to build partnership with businesses all around Africa. So 4 streams of income. Remember, direct bonus, every time my wife took a bot, I made 8%. Understood, right? Now, level 2, you'll earn 2%. Level 3 to 6, 1%. Level 7 to 20, you make 0.5%. Ladies and gentlemen, this looks small, but let me tell you something. At level 10 and level 11, you're looking at about 500,000 people. So some of you may ask, Shane, but does this company have the servers to accommodate so many people? Blockchain, Web3, we do not have servers that's in the building. Everything is decentralized. You guys need to learn that, right? So let's look at another compensation plan. For those of you who want ranks, right? Mr. Zaf Khan, I don't know if Zaf is on the call today. Yeah, you know, he did send me a message. Normally he's always here. There's something up if Zaf is not on the call today. But Dumi, you are here. If you could unmute yourself, because I'd like to speak to you as well. Because Zaf is, wait a minute, is Zaf here? I thought I saw Zaf here. There you go. Mr. Zaf Khan, why isn't your profile picture showing unless you're using a different Zoom? There you go, brother.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm on my phone. I'm actually out. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, Zaf, be on standby, or we'll talk to you now. So guys, if you're looking at this on your screen, ambassadors, right? Now, I'm doing like 2,000 XRP a day. Let's just say it takes you 1 year to make 1,000 volume. That means you brought in people in your banking system that has bots worth 1,000 XRP. You can earn 6% of that. But here's the thing. When they renew the bots, maybe they take it out to their communities. They want to have their Web3 branches all over the world, and it comes to 1,000 XRP again, you make another 6%. Now think about this. What happens when we are on diamond? Our target is diamond. We make 12% of 100,000. That is 12,000 XRP, right? 12,000 XRP. Let's look at 12,000 XRP today and see what it'll be valued at. Let's go. 12. Let me look at this here. Let me go here. XRP versus 12,000 XRP. Let's look at this. 268. 268,000. How does that sound to you guys? 268, call it quarter of a million. And once you have that volume again, you make another 2.5 million, 240,000, 240,000 rand. So when you look at this, let me give you a quick preview. It took me 50 days to move from here to here. 50 days. It took Zaf just under 50 days to move from here to Ruby. And he made like 2,000 XRP, which is how much? 2,000 XRP. Now let's just take out the 1 year. About 45,000. Is that good money, guys? So let me show you what I've done so far. I'm going to log into my account and show you live. Who wants to see my live account? Give me a yes in the chat, because if I talk money, I must be able to prove to you that we're making money. Am I right or wrong? On this call, we talk about proof. I know some people say, but Shane, you're not supposed to show that information because it can be sensitive. I understand, but I can't talk to you about making 100,000 XRP if I'm not doing what I need to. Am I making sense? So once you do that, then it'll give you an OTP. It'll be emailed to you. There you go, my OTP is emailed to me. And I would just punch it in. So for those of you, while I punch this in, for those of you who are in the crypto world right now, you don't need to log in via the Web 2. That means using a website. You can log in to the blockchain smart contract using MetaMask. You could use SafePal. You could use Trust Wallet. You could use any of those things, right? But because a lot of people don't know about Web3, we are using the website, okay? So I'm just going to put in my authenticator. Okay. Don't worry about copying this number down, guys. It keeps changing every 30 seconds. Okay. So let's talk about what I've done with this space, right? So, oh, by the way, guys, we are doing a roadshow for Italy at the moment. Okay, so for those of you who have friends and family in Italy, you can get them into this year. You can book your seat and you can win yourself a MacBook. And so we are doing Thailand, which is a corporate event in June 28th. And then we're doing South Africa. We're putting 1,000 people in the room in Durban, 1,000. We're looking at maybe more 1,005, where we bring down the corporate staff. We bring down Dr. Jack. We're bringing Rehan. We're bringing our operations manager, Shweta, from UK. We're bringing all of them to South Africa, the CFO. So it's going to be exciting times. So my lifetime's earning is 5,000 XRP, right? Copy, paste. About 117,000, right? From January till now. How much I started with? Let me show you, because some of you might fall off your seat. I got started on the 31st of October with 10 XRP. So for those of you on this call who say, Shane, you don't understand, I don't have money. That's understandable. Everybody goes to challenges in life. I've been through challenges in life, but I was not lazy. My commitment is to you guys and this team from the day I got started. So I got started on the 31st of October, okay? I got on the call with the corporate during October, November. Whole of December, I did nothing. I was relaxing on the beach. I got started working this business from January 12th. Why? Because I wanted to go check the smart contract out, look at all the details, look at the scaling, look, the vision, all of that. I had to do all that due diligence, what you think you're going to do. Now, for those people on this call, I'm going to go through this, but I want to explain something to you. Please don't embarrass yourself and say, oh, see what I found on Google about XAB Club. Oh, I went to YouTube, see what I found. Guys, that's Web 2. They don't like what we're doing on Web 3. You understand? So if you find anything negative, please do not send that links to the person who invited you to the call, because we've already seen that. MasterCard has already seen that. MasterCard have already seen all the videos, because for MasterCard to put their name onto our company will tell you they did the due diligence, right? So please don't embarrass yourself and say, I saw this on Google. Web 2, we are moving away. So keep that information to yourself. and share it with somebody who shares your type of mindset, right? We are moving the Web3 space. So this capped at 400%, 400%, 400%. As you can see, this is my bot right now here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you bought a bot and you need to activate it, this is how simple. All you got to do is log in on a Tuesday. You click packages, you click this bot. Can you see he's so sad in white, like he's going for a funeral? You click on it, you leave all of this the same, you click submit, you click yes, and guess what? He's a happy chappy, all green, it says trading. When you click airdrops is a fancy word for your returns. As you can see, for this week, I made 10 XRP there, and you can see my XRP is all coming in here. For those of you who want to see where your money is, you click airdrops, okay? Now, let's look at team growth. For those people who are looking at this business, Shane, how scalable is this? Can I make money if I do due diligence with this? So I started this when? Again, January. What's my team looking at? 1,500 people, 844 active members. My team volume is on 69,000. Now let's go back. Sapphire, 11% of 50,000 XRP. That is 5,500 XRP. That means I'll make another 120,000 or something. So for this year, I don't know, maybe I'll cross the $1 million mark. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening with or without you. Zaf, I'm going to hand it over to you. For those of you on this call for the very first time, you've got 5 minutes left. How many of you want to see how the bot works? Especially the new guys, okay? Because you're probably saying, Shane, those numbers look good on the smart contract, but can we see it working? If you want to see it, there's a chat at the bottom of your screen there. You guys know by now. Type in yes if you want to see the bot working, because I don't want to keep you. For those of you who want to go, that's fine. Maybe you have something more important to go to than making $1 million. I don't know. Maybe, but for those of you who want to stay for another 5 minutes, say, Shane, talk to me. I want to see how this bot works in real time. I'm more than happy to show you that. I got yeses. Zaf, you know the drill. While I don't know if Zaf is okay to talk. Oh, there's he there. Okay, cool. Zaf, you can unmute yourself. I must ask you to unmute this. Either you go unmute. And Doomy, I want to hear from you, Doomy. You're doing some magic things in the back end as well. I'll just unmute Mr. DMA as well. Okay, let's Zaf, let's get you then, Mr. DMA, right? There you go. I'll hand it over to
All
Zaf.
right. All right, can you hear me loud and clear?
Ross, you're loud and clear.
All right, good, good. All right, yeah, so I just want to give a big thank you to everyone in my team. You know, if I forget your name, please forgive me. I'm looking at Elza and Jumi, Sonia, all of y'all that know those people, Yvette. You all are doing amazing, amazing work, and it's showing, you know, because leaders rank up. And that's exactly what you're doing. Follow whatever we're teaching, y'all will get the same reward. So with that, you know, whatever Shane has showed you, as always, is very powerful information and very powerful knowledge. Now, in school, we were always told knowledge is power. That is complete garbage, because knowledge is not power, it's potential power. It's what you do with that knowledge that will turn into power. And you can take this and go to sleep tonight and say, you know what, maybe I'll wait for the next thing to come. You can wait, that's fine. But I want you to look at what the world is doing right now, just to give you a small history lesson. The country of Iran has been sanctioned, right? But how are they making tens of billions of dollars a month without even having to use the dollar? They're using Bitcoin. They're using crypto.
Sorry, I know. I just saw the ships that's going past the Strait of Hormuz. I know what is they're collecting from them, a whole lot of Bitcoin.
Yes, yes, exactly. And here's the thing, people. When you look at Bitcoin, it costs between $12,000 to $15,000 on average to mine. Iran is rich in what? They're rich in energy. It costs Iran $800 to $1,000 to mine one Bitcoin that costs $80,000. So which means for every $1,000, they are making $85,000. They don't need the dollar. Japan, a lot of things may have happened to Japan from the West. The one thing you need to realize, the Asian countries will not react with violence. They will beat you in the most smartest way. And with them adopting XRP, it could be one of the biggest financial shifts in the world. And it's happening right in front of your eyes. I always say, whatever the Asian countries are doing, China, Japan, follow what they're doing. because they do things a whole different way. They hold all the power in the world. China holds the most amount of minerals on the planet. They have buying power. Nobody can tell you that they are not in the driving seat. In any negotiation table, China holds all the cards, no other people. So they are adopting XRP and their economy is booming. It should tell you something. That light bulb should go on. But if it doesn't, you're probably standing at an airport waiting for a ship to come in. So if you need more information, as always, you can watch the replay and join us on the next calls. And as always, you know what? I will see you all on the beaches of the world. Thank you so much, Shane, for giving me the opportunity to add value.
No, you're most welcome, bro. Mr. DMA, you are on this call. Guys, Mr. DMA, let me give you a small brief about Mr. DMA. This guy appears on Business for Home magazines. He built business with millions of dollars all over the world. He's originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I want to go there someday. But he's now in Romania and Europe. And when I was in Dubai, we both were invited to meet the president of a country called Central African Republic, where I met him. And the buzzword in that room with 800 people was XRP, XRP, XRP. And I was standing there with my Bitcoin cap. Let me show you guys. Everybody was dressed up all smart. And there was me there standing there with meeting this president with my t-shirt, just like this here with my Bitcoin cap. There you go. Okay. Short t-shirt. And I stuck out like a so bloody thumb. And then Mr. DMA came up to me and says, where are you from? I'm sure he thought I was from India, because I didn't do good day, sir. I was like, then he knew. Then he knew. When he started speaking, I told him, Mr. DMA, whenever you're in Africa, you let me know. And then 2 months later, July, this was July in Dubai, September, hey, brother Shane, I'm in Johannesburg meeting some business guys here with the XRP bot. I'll be in Durban on Wednesday. I said, okay, now when you're in Dubai, you mixing with the top dogs, and you say, when you come to South Africa, I'll host you. You can't go down and say, oh my God, no problem, Mr. DMA, I'm your man. I rock up at the airport, fetched him, showed me his bot. I said, no, thank you, it's not for me. This was September, follow the dates. No, not for me. Until APSA's article 15th of October, I read, and I got started on the 31st of October. Follow the nuggets. Mr. DMA, how was a bunny chow that I took you for in Tawa?
Wow, that was probably one of the best experiences. Bunny chow, guys, bunny chow is it. That's probably one of the things that will put South Africa on the map once again. So I can't wait to be back in South Africa in a couple of months. As you guys probably know by now, that we are bringing the company in South Africa. We are bringing the company because this team is making it happen, and we have so much more leaders coming up from Pumalanga and different leaders. You guys are doing an excellent work, and now you have gotten the attention, the ears, and the eyes of the company to come to South Africa. So I think that Shane would have broached you, perhaps on, if not on this call, on previous calls, but in the coming weeks you'll be hearing a lot about it. The XAB Club is going to launch South Africa very, very big. I'm seeing Trevor Peterson. How are you? You're smiling. I see Zafkan, excellent addition. There will be, like, I believe that event will be like over 2,000 persons in one sitting, and I would not be surprised, in fact, if it is much more. This is where it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get so excited about XRP, especially because of the language of the Clarity Act. I don't know if I will just leave it to you guys to do your own research, YouTube videos, lots of content coming across it. But one of the things that is happening with XRP is the fact that it is now being given the legal status of a commodity. And that is groundbreaking. And if you have no idea what that is, ask yourself then, what is a commodity? For example, gold. Who owns gold? No one owns gold. If you find gold in your backyard, lucky for you. But if you are able to extract gold from under the ground, and South Africa knows that very, very well, right? You can now bring gold into the outer market, and there's a whole legal structure as to how gold will be treated. You know, the investments, the Wall Streets, gold listed on prospectus, and so on and so on and so on. People could buy all across the entire world. Elon Musk doesn't own all the gold in the world or all the oil in the world. Oil is a commodity. So if you look at how commodities are treated and the legal status for which now commodities could be listed in financial institutions and investments and different investment platforms and all these kinds of things. Can you imagine that XRP is now being given that status, which means in the same way you can extract oil, in the same way you can extract gold, here is an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, with a digital commodity having the same status, as gold and oil and so on and so on. Here is an opportunity where you can extract XRP through the XRP AI, but through our XAB system, through arbitrage trading. So it is now a question of how much of that commodity, think about it, how much of that commodity can you extract for your personal portfolio? Now that is game changer, because in our extraction processes, you can now multiply, you can amplify that commodity by 3 times or by 4 times. It's like in the gold era, the gold rush. You hear all of these stories, churches raising funds or entrepreneurs or the captains of industry raising funds to acquire equipment and buy because they found some gold streak and all these kinds of things. Anyone could extract it. If you have the equipment, if you have the resources, if you have what it takes to extract it from the ground. Here's an opportunity in our modern world using artificial intelligence and quantum computing and etc. that now we are given an opportunity to extract what would be perhaps one of the most significant commodities in digital currency of all time through our arbitrage system. And if you have no idea what that means, it just as how oil and gold could change countries and systems and governments and laws. Think about the movement from $1.30 or so to perhaps hundreds of dollars, to perhaps thousands of dollars. It means that now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to acquire as much of the equipment, to acquire as much as the resources, to acquire as much as possible to build your portfolio in the commodity called XRP. I don't want you to mistake this or to take this for a joke. You must have a mind, have a goal, have a vision in such a way that by the end of 2026, ladies and gentlemen, you must have at least 100,000 XRP, at least. This is our moment, and I encourage you as we explore these calls, as we rumble all across every street, every city, every auditorium, be it as it may across South Africa and Africa, this is your moment. Let us create millionaires. Let us create success stories. And let us empower ordinary, average people to change their lives. Not much to share with you, but I can't wait to join you back in Johannesburg or Durban or Cape Town or Bombella to meet some of you beautiful leaders, to rumble with you guys, to ripple with Zafkan.
No, sorry, hold on.
That is absolutely possible, And I'm telling you, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. We make the best curry chicken. You understand? We have the best chutney music. But I will be...
There's no competition with curry when it comes to Durban, right? We do not talk about rumble and all. We do it the chutney way. You know, Trinidad was the chutney music. DMA likes his chutney music. So when you come down to South Africa, we are going to take you for a chutney jol.
Okay. Thank you, guys. See you guys very soon. And I invite all of you guys to join us on our Sunday global call, because here we see the extraction equipment at work through our company directors. So you guys, let us make this happen. We want 1 million. Let me tell you this before I go. 1 million people minimum in South Africa. This is not about compare and contrast about network marketing. We have gone way beyond that. This is about how many lives by the hundreds of thousands through this opportunity that we can touch and we can change. So you guys, thank you very much, Shane. Excellent call. Excellent. And let's go to the next level. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Mr. DMA, for being here, for actually sharing that with us. DMA works directly with corporate as well. He's on calls with Dr. Jack all the time. So when I'm linked up to him, I get the information. If you're linked up with me, you get the information. So it's like a whole network. So for those of you who had the patience, have a look at this here. This is what your bot actually does in real time.
if my internet is a little bit unstable, so it needs to log back in. Yeah, so what you see right here are all the real-time XRP transactions happening around the world, and that's the data that goes inside the bot. And especially if you just take a look, you know, it's really hundreds of thousands of transactions, and it's going so fast. So the bot works with XRP and stablecoin transactions, XRP fiat currency transactions, real-time US dollar price already going above 150. We are waiting. Once it hits 150 and above, then it won't go back. So that's what we're going to see very shortly, going back up to 150 and above, 180 very shortly. XRP and other cryptocurrency transactions. And the financial statistics, almost $2 billion US dollar in trading volume just in the last moments. So again, it's not just us pushing this. This is really the world really believing in this system. Then here we have the live trades. We're very proud to say that we have over $41 million in trading accounts. It's not in dollars. It's of course in XRP, but it's expressed in dollars. We work with Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, and Bitstamp. And as you can see, there are small price differences between these. Manually, you could never do this. The price differences are too small and they dissipate too fast. But with artificial intelligence and machine learning and high-speed internet and good servers and also quantum computing from IBM for optimization, we can execute trades very fast and create revenue and create profits. So you see here the trades coming in. Buys, for example, at Bitstamp, sells at Coinbase for a little bit higher. You know, you can see the amounts that's being bought and sold, the profits that are being made. Again, pretty risk-free because normally it's only for major institutional players arbitrage. We do it with XRP. We are totally new in this. We are really pioneers in this field. And it just doesn't execute a trade if it can't see a profit. So now I'm going really inside the bot, which doesn't look very pretty, but it's making good revenues. So here in the top, you can see how many attempts it is trying has made since I opened it. So I just click here on a trade. It's already hundreds. Now it will go to xrpscan.com. As you can see, 12 seconds ago, as it appeared in the system, the hashtag is there, 38 XRP successful trade. And let me just show another one. So it's already done over 1,000 while I was speaking. Also, what a lot of people that were with us from the beginning can see is that in the beginning, the bot had a lot of failed attempts, and that has gone, definitely the bot is performing better. For example, here, almost 200 XRP. Also, 8 seconds ago, here's the hashtag.
Guys, I just want to pause this here. When he says this is the hashtag, right? Do you know what that means? I want to explain to you guys something very quickly. So when you send money to a banking system, the money goes through a server, right? But you cannot walk into the bank and say, I sent money from this person. Can I see where about the money is? Okay, that's Web 2. With Web 3, you can go into the blockchain and you'll be able to see with a transaction ID exactly where those funds are. So when he's showing you this here, he's verifying that there's actual XRP on the blockchains that's getting paid to us. That transparency banks do not give you, but you see it happen here in real time. Let's continue.
For if people want to check, again, verified externally. You see more coming. Again, here, one more 16 XRP, 13 seconds ago. And I think the timestamp is really shows that this just happened and it's just from our system. So let me catch another couple. If you see like a zero, just means that it couldn't see that the profit basically disappeared. So it couldn't execute a profitable trade. So let me just catch another. It already tried almost 3,000 trades. Here we have 2,000 XRP. So yeah, it's 9 seconds ago. The hash is there. And that's
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your tool to extract your XRP as a commodity. Basically, I'm summarizing what Mr. DMA said. If you guys want to see this live and be on a call with our CEO, we do this every Sunday on at 9 p.m. when the CEO comes to the call just for us. We have the whole corporate staff so you guys can meet them, etc. So this is your marching orders. If you are new on this call, type in yes, I'm in, or if this is not for you, type in no. I know most of the guys left at 8. I should have done that question at that time. But if you are here still on this call, and if you're in, type in I'm in. If it's not for you, type in I'm out. We don't want to work with people that we have to convince and we have to beg. No, we got a vision of where we need to be. And we want to take Web3 out to the unbanked in Africa. Whether it's your family is going to learn this from somebody else either way. Before the banks get into it and start introducing it to your family, might as well be you and make some money from it. So to everybody that says, I'm in, this is what you do is you get back to the person who invited you to the call. You tell them, look, I'm in. Even if it's just $350 for you to activate your account, do that now, because before Japan comes in place, we don't know what's the price. And the worst mistake that I can tell you that people make is they treat this like a 10 XRP business or a 359 business. Worst mistake. XRP goes to $100 and it costs you 10 XRP. This business is going to cost you almost $1,000 at 70,000 Rand for the same exact tool you're going to get today for this discount price. Okay. So thank you guys for being on this call. I'm sorry I took much longer, but I'm sure it was worth your time. Information like this, you don't get from school, you don't get from bosses, you don't get from your banks. So guys, good night, God bless. We do this tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day we do this. Thursday is our training. We do back office training, teach you how to market, etc. The other thing is, if you want to take this out to your people, please don't do that right now. Get your link, get started. We want to train you on how to do it, because I don't want you guys to go out there and talk about companies and Web2 space and they don't know what's Web3. So do not go talk about, when you tell him 300%, the mind shuts off. You understand? So please do not go and market this if you don't know how to do it. You keep quiet about it. You earn your income. You come on a training. You learn how to do it, and then you take it out, because your warm market will get you all wrong. Imagine you tell them, oh, I saw a guy that did 4,000 transactions in 10 minutes and he made 2,000 XRP in what? 9 seconds. Who's going to believe you? Get them on the call. See you guys tomorrow. Same link, same time, 7 p.m. Zaf, as usual, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for making time. Good night. God bless. And a shout out to my daughter, Himani, and